What up, people? Dark Fool, how you doing? Yeah, I'm back, baby. You know how I roll. Every so often, I just make a video. And you know what? I figured, it's 2008. I figured it was time for an upgrade. So I finally got a new webcam. So I hope you guys, hope this is a little better. It was time for a change. And speaking of change, I've never had this voted before. I want you guys to just immediately go down and give me 5 stars to this video. 5 stars. Because you know what? God damn it. It's 2008. I need a change. Let's make 2008 happen right. 5 stars to this video right away. Anyways, what is this video about? This is a response video, and you can clearly see it under the video responses, okay? This is a response video to Thomas LeRoy's age of, what is the new Aeon? What is this all about? And this is actually kind of a response video to both Thomas LeRoy and Jason King. So I want to get Jason King's out of the way first because his is the easiest, and that's not an insult. It is what it is. Jason King, when it comes to the Aeon, he sees the satanic Aeon, Satanism, postmodern Satanism. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, make a video response to this, right underneath mine, of course. But Satan, adversary, adversarial, strife, conflict, war, actually is inherent. That is evolution, okay, the struggle. And it breeds betterment. It breeds the next. That's an easy one to explain, really. So that's why I wanted to get Jason King's out of the way first. So, the next one, which is not so easy, more about Ion, Carl Jung's Ion, and Aeon, which is the magical Aeon. That is what Thomas's videos have been about. And by the way, all of this is in the description of this video. So go ahead, look at those links to see what I'm talking about. But you'll also see it under the video responses, which is easy to follow these days. But there is something interesting that happened recently that I think bears sharing here. I was watching a video, and I believe it was on Reason TV. I don't even know which one, so I can't even dig that up. I did hear somewhere that when I was listening to a video about different corporations, they kept referring to a lot of these corporations as leviathans. And having just watched Thomas's video, got me thinking. I said, Leviathan, okay. We have the corporation of Christ. Corporate means body, by the way, so that bears meaning here. The corporation of Christ has been on decline for generations, and even within my lifetime, I've been seeing it decline in decades. With that decline of the corporate of religion, the corporation of Christ current, we see a rise in corporations throughout the world, New World Order corporations. And once that was referred to as Leviathan, that makes sense. A serpent is subversive. There's been a lot of subversion, especially in this age of disinformation. Oh wait, of 2008. I mean, this age of 2008. So with this age of disinformation, we've been seeing a lot of subversion that could be looked at as under the current, and a lot of misinformation, a lot of sleight of hand, very cunning like a serpent. So from that angle, it got me thinking, okay, maybe there is something to that, symbolically, to that changing of the tides between that Christ current versus the Leviathanic current. So metaphorically and allegorically, I can see that angle. That's a very small angle I saw recently. But moving along, I see things a bit differently, which is actually the reason why I'm making this video. When it comes to the aeonic shift, basically, okay, there's something deeper going on when it comes to the water, and there's something deeper going on when it comes to the serpent, and I'm going to get into that right now. I believe that what's going on now, and I have evidence to back this up, we are seeing a shift because, okay, at the end of all this, when systems are dying, people are looking for answers. People have turned to, like, it used to be the New Age, But also back in the day, learning from history, it was the Eleusinian mystery schools. It was the Dionysian mystery schools. And that is what I believe is going on. The next current is the Dionysian current. It's back because these things come in phases. Now, time-stamped in Thomas's video, around 613, he discusses the age of Aquarius. Now, who better to bring in the age of Aquarius than Dionysus? In fact, from one cup you have water, the other cup you have wine, the transmutation. In fact, when Jesus turns the water into wine in the Bible, that was actually directly lifted from Dionysian mysteries, because the rain falls on the ground and the grapevines absorb that rain into the grapes. Those grapes are then smashed by humans, and that fermentation is then turned into wine. Water to wine. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting. In Thomas's video, time stamped around 705, that's when he starts talking about the water and the serpent. This is where it's going to get maybe a bit of a stretch, but bear with me. We're going to turn now to Kabbalah, Hermeticism. We're going to start here with the supernal triad, right here at the top. Right here, the top, that's the path of the magician. The other side, the path of the fool. All right? The fool and the magician, emerging from Keter. That is the balance that I want to discuss right now that is relevant to the Dionysian current. And here, the fool. In the Thoth deck, specifically, look right there, other side there. The grapes. The fool is associated with Dionysus. On the one hand, from the emergence, Dionysus. On the other hand, is Hermes, who in the traditional deck is associated with, drumroll please, Apollo. The solar god Apollo. Now, who else do we know that made the connection between Dionysus and Apollo? Yes, Friedrich Nietzsche, in his book, The Birth of Tragedy. That is what links the Dionysian current, that right there. Now, returning back to the magician Hermes, who is also in some cases linked to Apollo. Now, Hermes, as you can see, has a staff. That staff, as we all know, the staff of Hermes, 2 serpents. Is this a bit of a stretch? Maybe. But I think there's a link between serpents and water. Serpents and water into wine. Now, something happened recently that tells me I'm on the right track. Okay? So for years, those who know me, I've been trying to figure out, okay, the fool, my archetype. Where does the fool fit in to, left-hand path, Satanism, all this stuff that I've been getting into throughout the years that have been like, okay, where does this all fit in? And as many of you know, I have had a book that will be done this summer, by the way. I will finally finish Way of the Dionysian, my book, my magnum opus. I will finish that this summer. I have an illustrator lined up. But see, something else happened. I had no contact with this person. A book also emerged by one Shea, Bile, and it's called Friedrich Nietzsche and the Left-Hand Path. Funny thing, in my book, I too equate Dionysus to the left-hand path. I also equate Apollo to the right-hand path. Now, more about that in my book. I will be going into much detail. But someone else, oh, and by the way, his book is in the description of this video as well. Someone else made the same connection that I did, and I hadn't told anybody, or barely anyone, about my connection between Dionysus, the left-hand path, the dark chthonic god Dionysus, the solar god Apollo, right-hand path. I didn't mention that at all. Of course, there's no mention really of Apollo in the right-hand path in Shea Bile's book, but Dionysus, Friedrich Nietzsche in the left-hand path, most definitely. Highly recommend that book. Go check it out. Two of us had no contact with one another, and yet, boom. So I'm wondering if Dionysus, the Dionysian current, is next. And that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to throw that idea out there because I think it's already happening. You guys take care. Vote for Obama, not McCain. Bye.